Hello, and a very good afternoon, and welcome to another Uckfield Business Podcast. Oh, I've disappeared from the screen. Oh, I'm back. There we are. Welcome to another Uckfield Business Podcast with me, Ian Noble from Uckfield Chamber of Commerce, here in East Sussex on what is a very sunny but a very chilly autumn day in mid-November. We've got a great guest for you today, and I'll introduce him in a little while. But before I do that at the top of the show, it's just me today. Sometimes we have Claire or Chris with us, but today it's just me and producer guy Gordon in the background, pressing the buttons, making us look good. So just a little bit of news about Uckfield. First of all, apologies from me for the picture at the top. I meant to get a picture of Holland and Barrett, and the only one I thought I had one, but the only one I've got is to the top picture there. You're looking at it. So if you're listening back on the podcast, you won't know what I'm talking about. But next to the British Heart Shop, onto the right of it, as you look at it, there is a new store opening in Uckfield very soon. They're Holland and Barrett. They're a multinational. They're well known. Quite why they've chosen to set up opposite the only independent health food shop we have in the town, I'm not sure, but nevertheless, there's a healthy competition there, I hope, going forward. So I do know they're opening in December at some point, but we don't know exactly when. Now, I put the bottom picture in, and again, if you're listening back on the podcast, we have a picture there of Santander, the last bank in town. Oh, it's banking, but not as we knew it. There was a time when Uckfield had about 5 or 6 banks in the high street, and everyone used them all the time. Nowadays, of course, less need for cash and less need for banks, but still a need for a banking service. So what we can tell you is that there is a banking hub coming to Uckfield when Santander closes, or just before it closes. So it has given notice that it's closing, but we're not sure exactly when. So just a little update on that one. And the other piece of news, I suppose, we haven't got a picture of this one, but the Maiden's Head building, the repairs there are still ongoing. No plans, of course, to close any of the highways going forward, especially leading up to this busy Christmas time. But we do know from Wealdon District Council that the repairs are ongoing at the Maiden's Head building at the top of town. So let's get our guest on, Gordon, shall we? Henry Adekoya is joining me from Revive Health Fitness. Good afternoon, Henry. How are you?
Yeah, hi. Not too bad. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.
You're very, very welcome. Great to see you this afternoon. Now then, you and I have known each other for a little while. Your business joined Uckfield Chamber of Commerce a while ago now, a few years ago. And we meet at lots of different events. We meet at chamber events and we meet at your events, which we'll come on to and talk a little bit about in a little while. But first of all, tell us a little bit about your business, what it's called, who you are, what you do, and that kind of thing.
Well, the business is called Revive Health Fitness, and it specialises in wellbeing courses for businesses and their employees. So, it comes from a background of fitness of over 30 years, my passion, my drive, and it's a way of me utilising all my knowledge, all my experience and delivering it in a package that's suitable for businesses. Brilliant.
So would you say that's why I often ask this question, why your chosen sector? Why are you in that kind of business? So that's the question to you, really.
Yeah, well, I suppose even if you go back as far as school, really, I was always, sporty. I love sport, basketball, play a bit of hockey, field hockey for the school. Used to do the 100 and 200 meters at school as well. So it's something I really enjoyed and found relatively comfortable to get involved in. Yeah. And when I left school, I played a bit of hockey, inline hockey, which is like ice hockey on blades, and enjoyed that for several years. And then it just evolved from that into becoming a fitness professional. So I trained to become a personal trainer, and 30 years on, I'm still doing it. So Brilliant. Yeah, it's something I really enjoy.
Good. So how long has Revive Health Fitness been in existence in its current format?
In its current format, I'd say a couple of years. It's had snippets beforehand, tasters, which given me the idea. I was approached by a local charity in Burswood in Groombridge back in 2017, because I've developed quite a reputation as a PT in Tunbridge Wells, and quite a few people know about me and what I do. So they emailed me one year just to see if I could utilise their rooms, because it's a really nice country house in the middle of nowhere, lovely grounds. and they just wanted to offer something to get people in to use their room. So I came up with the idea of a weight loss retreat, a week-long weight loss retreat. So it's called Burswood Boot Camp Health and Weight Loss Retreat. And so I did all the itinerary for that. So the all the exercises, Monday to Sunday. So I liaised with the chefs, did all the meals, measured them out, did a varied menu for everyone to enjoy.
Wow.
So we did fitness assessments at the beginning and at the end, because the idea was for them to lose weight. And I did presentations and discussions for that, so people could understand the physiology of food, because not all calories are equal.
Right.
And my courses were called Revive. So that was where the name comes from, because basically Revive. My inspiration was revive and reveal your former self, because everyone, say in their teens and their 20s, are relatively fit, and then as you get older, life can take over, kids, marriage, job, and you kind of leave yourself on the back burner. And it's a case of being inspired to say that you can get yourself back to your former self. So yeah, revive and reveal your former self. So that's where
Brilliant.
the
And
name comes from.
that's brilliant. Thank you. Would you say there's more of an appetite these days here in 2025 to do just that than there would have been, I don't know, 20 years ago, say?
Well, I think so. I think health and fitness has always been there in different forms over the years, but certainly since COVID, the mindset's
Mm,
changed completely, and I think it's
yeah.
accelerated probably 10 years easily. It's brought everything to the fore, because everyone was thrust into the same situation, being at home, mental health was the big issue. So yeah, I think it's relevant, it's current for businesses now. People are certainly starting to think about that more, but it's what's out there on offer that's beneficial for businesses to utilize. And with my experience, I feel for over 30 years, I believe that Revive is what businesses are subconsciously asking for.
Yeah, good. And one of the things that you do offer is like a well-being away days for businesses, sort of senior
Yeah,
management teams and so on. So
yeah.
tell us a little bit about what that could bring to a business, do you think?
Well, in the modern climate now, it's very high pressured, highly strung environments for businesses, leaders
Yeah.
especially, and stress is really what's going to say. Stress is really high on the agenda. So it's all about relaxation and recovery. So for me, the take is to bring teams, businesses, employees out of their normal working environment into the countryside, so they can reconnect, rebuild those relationships, because hybrid working is all the theme as well nowadays. So we just want to
Mm,
go back to basics, reconnect those groups, and do something that's going to benefit their health and their well-being, and something they can remember. So it's our job really just trying to inspire teams to be healthier, like I do as a personal trainer, so they can be more productive at work, take less time off sick, and become, better versions of themselves, really.
brilliant. And we've got some photographs on the screen there. So if you're watching or you're watching back, you can see those photos there. So for the benefit of the podcast listeners, the top left one is it's hard to tell, but I think that is you presenting to a large group
Yes, it
of
is.
people.
That's a mini me there in the corner.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about that, and what that event was, and whether you hope to replicate that kind of thing going forward.
Yeah, well, I hope to replicate that, but off-site rather than on-site. So this is at a local business in Tunbridge Wells. It's at Cripps, which is at the top of town on the old hospital site, Kent and Sussex Hospital site,
Yeah.
if you know it. And I used to do supply discounts for employees on their staff intranet, and they contacted me to see whether that was still going, and I asked if I could come in and do a presentation for their staff, which they agreed to. And
Mm,
this is me doing a presentation to 52, I think, employees
yeah.
at Cripps, and it was also live streamed to their other branches in London. And well, I think they might have two branches in London, but I'm not entirely sure. One in Chelsea, I do believe. But yeah, so it's a similar ethos to what I promote on my courses in the countryside. So we can discuss sleep, stress, obviously, disease prevention. There's nutrition in there,
Mm.
obesity. I discuss body types. Activity readiness and planning for optimal health. So I like to think of it as a foundation course, and it will
Mm.
give all the tools that people would need to kind of nurture their health and start that well-being journey in a positive way.
Brilliant. Now, one of the things that you and I meet up with fairly regularly is your networking events, and we've got some
Uh-huh.
photographs here. Our illustrious photographer, one of our illustrious photographers here
Bex.
at the Chamber, is Bex Manny, with
Yeah.
her colourful clothing, and she's also our selfie queen, because whenever we go
Mm-hmm.
out for a walk, as you can see there on 2 occasions, she's the one with the camera and does these brilliant group selfies.
Mm-hmm.
So these are set, out in the Ashdown Forest, and in the background of the top one, you've got the Ashdown Park Hotel. So tell us a little bit about the networking, how that all came about to begin with, and then how people can get involved going forward.
Well, yeah, well, it came about because it's just, my ethos, it's health and well-being, and it's just another way to connect people. Ideally, as I joined the chamber, it was another way of me connecting with other businesses, and
Yeah.
networking is a way for businesses to connect with each other, but out in the open countryside. So it's the kind of theme that I try and promote. So we try and we do meet every second Friday of the month.
Okay.
And we meet at Ashdown Park Hotel, like you say, in the background there in the garden at 10:15. We leave at 10:30, so it's free to attend. Anybody can come along. So we stroll through the grounds of the hotel, across the Ashdown Forest. So a nice circular walk for about an hour and a quarter, something like that. There's 4 different routes, or even 5 actually. And we meet back on the terrace, and we can have some teas and coffees and carry on those conversations. So it's just a great way to meet new people. It's a great way to exercise. It's light exercise. It's not too heavy. Good for your immune system. Good for thinking. Creative thinking, clarity of thought, and yeah, bone density, muscular strength, endurance. So lots of health benefits as well.
I don't think of that when I'm walking, but I'm glad you're telling me I'm doing good to my body when I'm walking along.
Yeah,
So
certainly are.
we've all heard the term networking, which
Hmm.
is a common phrase that people use for business events. But the networking bit is obviously a play on words. Did you come up with that, or did you get it
No,
from
I'm
somebody?
not going to take credit for that. It's something I've heard before in the past, and I just thought it's a really great name
Yeah,
to use for networking out in the open countryside. So networking is it's a term used by lots of different groups really now, but it
yeah.
certainly wasn't my idea. No,
Was it
it's
not?
just something I used that was relevant.
That's a shame. But anyway, yeah, of course, networking, yeah, it is good, and it is great because you often at an event inside, you're sitting next to somebody, and it's
Hmm.
difficult sometimes to get to other people
Yeah,
if you want to talk to them. But on the walks, you can drop back or you can speed up and catch up with different groups
yeah.
and
It's
have
just
a
more
number of
relaxed, I think. I just
conversations.
find it a
Yeah,
bit more relaxed, even though most networking meetings that you belong to, over time, it becomes more relaxed because you become more familiar with your surroundings and
yeah,
the members. But I think when you're just walking out in the countryside, it's just really informal, and you just feel like you're strolling with one of your friends. You've just gone out for a nice light stroll. People bring their dogs along, and it just feels completely different.
yeah,
It's still
absolutely.
as beneficial as being a networking meeting, but it just feels completely different.
Yeah, definitely. So these are the second Friday of each month.
I'll do it
Let's
every month. That's right.
let's be clear about that. And it's every month, and you mean every month. So in
Yeah.
December as well.
Rain or shine, we're there. Like we say, that top middle one, that was raining, wasn't it? So that's why there's only a few of us, because we were the only ones that braved the weather that day.
Yeah, yeah, we were. That was last month, and yeah,
Yeah.
we did get a bit wet, but obviously it's not for us to take that picture. But this is going to be the next one. Then is Friday, the
Friday,
12th
yes,
of
the
December.
12th of December, and
Yeah,
that's the Christmas one. And you're required to wear your Christmas jumper, so we can put a smile on
okay,
everyone's face, and they turn up to see what you're wearing. I've got mine in tow. I'm going to wear a waistcoat, I think, that day. One of
oh
my
yeah.
waistcoats, yeah, a green one with stockings and Father Christmases all over it.
So if you want to see Henry in a waistcoat, turn up on the 12th of December. That would be good. That's good. So yeah, and it's only an hour or two, or 2 hours really. You need to allow from 10:15 maybe to 12:15 or 12 o'clock by the time you get away. And you kindly
Hmm.
provide coffees and
I do, yeah.
and cookies
Complimentary
as
coffees
well.
and teas for
Yeah,
everybody. But
so
in December it will be hot soup and rolls that will await us when we get back, and
brilliant,
there'll be mince pies as well to make it more
amazing.
festive.
Amazing.
Hmm.
Yeah, as if I wasn't sold on it already. So there we are. That's good.
Put yourself
Um,
on.
There we go. So you're a member of Uckfield Chamber, which is great. So tell us a
Hmm.
little bit about why you joined Uckfield Chamber, because you're not in Uckfield itself. You're
I'm
slightly
not in
outside.
Uckfield. I live on the Kent-Sussex border. Yeah, like I said to you earlier, our
Yeah.
council is Wilton District, so I'm kind of related somewhat to people that live in Uckfield. But no, I was recommended. I do a lot of networking because I'm trying to create awareness of my,
Yeah.
of Revive. And Sam was I went to a business over breakfast, which is a networking meeting over in Tunbridge Wells, and she recommended that I come over and see you guys. She said that Ian's
Yeah.
a really nice guy. Why not go over there
That's
and
nice.
start networking there? So I went along. I felt really welcome. You guys are really friendly, and I think it's a really fantastic group. I really do. I really do. So it's yeah, it's where I'm going to stay for quite a long time, I think,
That's
if
very
not
kind of you
always.
to say, Henry. Now we put on various events. So, what in particular did you enjoy, or do you enjoy all of them? The chamber
Well, I
events.
enjoy all of them really. I think they're quite
Hmm.
varied. It's the fact you use lots of different venues is quite interesting. So
Yeah.
I've been to ones where we were out in this in the sticks, weren't we? We had a like a was it a Norwegian Scandinavian breakfast
Oh yeah.
one
That's,
year.
that's
Remember
yeah,
that?
yeah,
That was in the middle of nowhere, really hard to
yeah,
find.
yeah, yeah.
So we obviously have some around in Uckfield and places further afield. So yeah, I like the variety of places that you belong to. And like I say, the people are just great at Uckfield, really welcoming, and which just makes me feel at home.
Brilliant. And we haven't rehearsed this bit, and we haven't paid you to say it either. So
No,
that's
that is my
fantastic.
honest answer, and I do believe that for sure. One
That's
of the
good.
best networking groups I belong to, and that is the honest truth.
Thank you, Henry. You're going to make me blush in a minute. But look, you're a member also of other things. Where else are you involved?
Well, like I say, I'm involved in Brighton, Haywards Heath,
Yeah,
Burgess Hill, East Grinstead.
all
I do
over.
belong to Seven Oaks, but quite a lot really. But like I say, it's all about creating awareness because Revive is very new. It's only 2 years old, and there's
Mm,
nothing really to compare it to. The core reason of our course is education. So we're trying to inspire people to be healthier so they can make more informed choices and be, like I say, better versions of themselves. So
yeah.
hopefully we can get things moving next year, get some really good traction. So it's about speaking to people, connecting with people, creating those conversations, and like I say, developing some traction long term.
Yeah, and as we said earlier, I think people are more and more aware these days how important all those things are,
Hmm.
and also not just the physical health but mental health as well.
Yeah,
Is a big thing nowadays, and we just need to be mindful that life is tough, and
yeah,
we
it's
need to do
tough.
everything we can to protect
Yeah,
ourselves and to
mm,
to do well. Okay, all
exactly.
good. All good. Now we were talking about this before we came on air, but one of the things I often like to ask is, what advice would you give to your younger self at 16? And we were talking about, while you're thinking of an answer, we were talking about what jobs we did rather,
Mm.
when we were 16 years of age. So tell us first of all, what job did you do when you were 16, and what advice would you give to your younger self?
Well, the job I did when I was 16 was I was still doing a paper round. So I lived in Crowborough then, actually. So
Yeah.
I used to get up early in the morning, rain or shine, in the winter as well, frosty mornings on my rally arena. I can remember 5 gears. Uh, and I used to have a heavy, paper bag on my back, and I used to deliver over the Warren, if you know the Warren. So it was nice at Christmas because we got some good tips at Christmas, but it was a good hour and a quarter probably every single morning, and I had the princely sum of £3.75 to show for it at the end of the week. So yeah, not much for my efforts, but it's good discipline. I think when you're that age, getting up in the morning. I wasn't great at getting up when I was a teenager, but it got you out of bed. You did something that was relatively important, and it gave you a bit of pocket money as well. So it meant I could go down the sweet shop at the weekend and buy myself some goodies.
And so, what advice would you give to your younger self at that age?
Um, what could I say? It's a difficult one, really. Think more about you. I'm always out for pleasing other people. It was difficult to say no. I think when I was a teenager, always looking to please other people rather than myself. So, that would be one thing, focus on yourself a little bit more. And just carry on to what you're doing. If you can be nice and have a good support network around you, then you never know what can happen. So always be positive, always be cheerful, and embrace life, whatever throws at you.
Good advice. Good advice indeed. Good. Well, look, Henry, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today. It's been great talking to you. Great getting to know you a little bit better and getting to know the business and some of the things you've been up to in the past. Stay with us, won't you? While we just look ahead at some of the things that we've got coming up at the Chamber in the days ahead. So, our main Christmas party event will have been and gone by the time December comes. That's at the end of November. But we do have a networking breakfast event on Wednesday, the 17th of December. That's at the Civic Centre, Luxford Restaurant in the centre of town. Now, these meetings are open to non-members. Henry, we generally get members and then a sprinkling of non-members, don't we, at these? I don't know if you...
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So what tends to happen is that the non-members that come along do end up joining because they enjoy it so much. So that's good. But this one is a little bit different because we haven't got a speaker. Often we have speakers at these breakfasts, but we haven't got a speaker at this one. It is simply because it's nearly Christmas. It's a more relaxed event. There'll still be an opportunity for everyone to stand up and talk about their business for 60 seconds in an elevator pitch type thing. And the key thing is, of course, that you wear your Christmas jumper.
Exactly. I'll have a special treat for everyone.
We know you've got one because you're going to be wearing it at your event the week before.
Yeah, definitely.
Unless you've got more than one, of course, then you can.
I've got a few actually. I've got a few.
There we go. Always looking for opportunities to wear our Christmas jumpers in December.
I'll have a special treat for you all as well on that morning, Ian.
Oh, can't wait, Henry. That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. So look, if you're watching this and you think actually I haven't done any networking for a while, or I fancy a bit of festive spirit over Christmas or leading up to it, then book yourself a place. The link to do so is on the Chamber website. What else have we got coming up, Gordon? Yes, we have a Winter's members meeting. Now, hopefully it won't be too much snow on the roof of the Civic Centre. Same building as our breakfast. And this is at the end of January. So this is for our members only. If you're not a member of the Chamber and you'd like to get involved in these evening members meetings, great networking opportunities, as Henry has already said, then please get in touch. But if you're a member, you can book your place now, just £10 plus a booking fee. And our speaker on that occasion is somebody that's very well known in the Sussex area. This is Katie Bourne, who's the Police and Crime Commissioner for Sussex. She is she's a political, it's a political appointment, that PCC role, but she's also running as mayor for Sussex as well. So it'll be interesting to hear from her at the end of January for sure. And then following that, anything else coming up? Of course, we need to talk about Uckfield's late night shopping that is coming up. And that is as soon as the 5th of December. So on Friday, it's just 2 short weeks away till we close our high street once again to traffic. Now, have you ever been to this one, Henry? I don't know if you have.
I don't think I have. No, I haven't been to that one.
Well, is
that an invite then, is it?
Yeah, that's an invite. Yeah, you've got to come along on Friday, the 5th of December. So the streets are, as I said, the high street is closed. Part of the high street, the southern part of the high street is closed to traffic. So the key image there, of course, if you're watching on the pod, I'm looking at a picture of our late night shopping magazine. 7,000 copies of this magazine were printed, 6,000 delivered to Uckfield homes, and other copies are available from good outlets in town, like the Civic Centre and your library, and various retail outlets like Carville's will have copies of the magazine, which is a great 44-page glossy guide, easy for me to say, to the event itself. It tells you everything you need to know. We have dancing groups, we have children's choirs, we have more food and drink stalls than you can shake a stick at. We have an art trail, and there's just so much happening on that night. And Santa as well, of course, and a nativity scene to walk through. So look, so much to do. So we hope you'll come out and enjoy the occasion in Uckfield for late night shopping once again. And of course, one of the key things, the key reason we do this is to support our stores, our independent stores in the high street. So there's lots of things going on outside, but let's not forget to support our shops and spend our hard-earned money with our local retailers as we lead up to Christmas. And we will talk more about this on our next podcast. So we're going to go again as soon as 2 weeks' time on Thursday, the 4th of December at midday. And on that show, I will have a whole host of guests, people involved with late night shopping. So we're going to be interviewing them and talking to them about what's coming up in a little bit more detail than we've had time to do today. And as you can see the image there, Henry, this is what the high street looks like. It's packed full of people. So it's a really, really brilliant occasion for the town. And here at Uckfield Chamber of Commerce, we're very proud to lead on this and to organise the event every year for Uckfield. So that's when we'll go again. Henry, thanks again for joining us.
No problem at all. Thanks for having me on.
And I'll see you in person real soon. And thanks again, of course, to our producer guy, Gordon Manklow in the background, pressing all the buttons. See you again next time.